SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. I am Steve Azar. Grateful for you tuning in. Grateful for my team at SuperTalk. Into my 8th year, almost done, heading into 9. Amazing. Visit Mississippi.org, the Thanksgiving Parade. I hope you guys got to see it. Amazing, celebrating. Go to visit Mississippi.org, America's birthplace of music and everything else as far as I'm concerned. All right, today's guest, they're powerhouses. It's a couple behind Rosedale Distillery. It's a new company that they have been working on for so many years. One being the founder, president, and CEO, a native of Rosedale, Mississippi. He spent most of his career as a natural resources lawyer in Washington, D.C. He served as general counsel for the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Natural Resources, and earlier as a senior attorney for energy and environmental issues for the U.S. Department of Interior, and as a presidential appointee over the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, where he was selected as one of the top 40 managers under 40 in the federal government. Also a retired Army captain. Can I just say that? I'm also joined by Executive VP of the distillery, a native of San Antonio, Texas, and a graduate of the University of Texas. You know how they're together. Well, they fell in love, and now they're together. She moved to Mississippi when she and her husband, I'm not going to tell you who it is, tied the knot 10 years ago. She served in elective office in Texas for 12 years and was elected to the Texas House of Representatives 3 times before she was elected statewide to the Texas Railroad Commission, which, despite the name, has nothing to do with trains. Can you believe that? It is Texas's energy agency, overseeing all aspects of oil and gas drilling and production, pipeline, safety, coal mining, reclamation, and natural gas investor-owned utility companies. I mean, that's just too much for me to say. As a 2-time chairman of the 3-member commission, she oversaw the agency's $100 million budget, 750 full-time employees spread across 10 district offices around the state. I mean, I can go on and on about these two, but I think we better get started. They've got 10 grandchildren, 11 on the way, and if I don't get to them, they're going to find out they have their 12th grandchild on the way. Jack and Elizabeth Coleman. What's up, guys?
Good morning. Great to be here, Steve.
It's great to be with you, Steve. You make it sound very, very wonderful. What all these things, but a lot of it was hard work. But
are you tired? Are you tired after listening to that?
Just makes me tired just listening to that. Did I really do all that? Did you, Jack?
Well, no, you did a lot more. I had to cut it off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another whole book of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you guys, first of all, found each other, and it's amazing that Jack, like I did, found the need to come back home. Sometimes with me, I found out way more than I ever thought was going to be, I was going to be so grateful for moving back. I really wanted our kids to experience Mississippi and that inspiration that I had, and I wanted them to soak that in, and I knew that it would make a difference in their lives, and I really feel like it was the most imperative thing we ever did. Jack, you guys get together, you get married, you got this crazy idea, which I want to talk about Rosedale Distillery. It's going to be a huge piece of visitmississippi.org, by the way, getting tourists from all over the world. But what inspired you to move home?
As I say sometimes, I've been plotting my escape from Washington for a long time. My love of home and my hometown but also the Delta and Mississippi, of course, was part of it. But also, I just needed to leave Washington. You can get where you just had enough of it, and I didn't originally. I didn't know what I was going to do here. I'm a lawyer, been a lawyer a long time, but I didn't want to be a local lawyer here. They didn't need me for that. So I wanted to be entrepreneurial and, use what I've learned away from here, to try to make things better. So I started buying property, putting this distillery together, 12 years ago. And so it's you walk before you run. We had this famous whiskey distiller bootlegger, Perry Martin,
Sure.
from Rosedale, and so one day sitting in my law office in D.C., I said, okay, I know what the light bulb came on. Now I know what I'm going to do. We're going to do a distillery. It'll be great for tourism development. It'll be great for my hometown. It'll be great for Bolivar County and the whole Delta and the state of Mississippi. So then you got to learn. So one of the first things I did was hire a consultant who was recommended to me just to help me get my sea legs in this and understand what the full ramifications of putting something together. Originally I was going to do something smaller, but I realized the way the distilling industry works, you have to be larger to get the interest of the distributors, and so it's now what it is going to be.
It's taking up a whole city block. And I just want everybody to know that as with my show, Steve Azar's Mississippi for Viking Cruise Line, and all of our tour guides and everything, you guys building this allows us to have another premium tour, which is going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be awesome. All right. Elizabeth, I know you grew up in a bigger city in San Antonio, but you love the man that grew up in a small town. You talk about rural America. A lot of businesses have disappeared. Kids have grown up and moved away. So how can you start new chapters in rural America, rural Mississippi, and now Rosedale? And what do you think the distillery, how it's going to impact?
Well, talking about rural America, San Antonio, in my life in San Antonio was really a lot of friends and family were part of South Texas. So I'm kind of a country girl myself, even though I had the best of both worlds, getting out to the ranch on the weekends, being with my friends in Laredo and South Texas. It's a small community. And I kind of thought when Jack told me, he said, well, this is part of the deal when we get married. So I married his vision and made it my own. But it was not too far away from the way I had grown up in South Texas. It's a culture, just like living in the Delta is a culture too. So while, I never laid awake at night dreaming of moving to Rosedale, Mississippi, it became my vision. And when we met in Washington, D.C., I figured, well, it's closer to Texas. So I'm halfway closer to Texas and my grandkids, and we get over there. Jack told me I could have, when we got married, we discussed it, and he said, well, okay, you can have 2 toes in Texas. And we laugh about it because it really became 5 toes. So I kind of straddled the Mississippi River, and it's so great. The Texans love to come over here, and Mississippians and Texans, there's a kind of a symbiotic relationship between the two.
That's interesting that you're saying that. Let me tell you musically why that's interesting. Albert King and Stevie Ray Vaughan, huge relationship that was built out of respect and music. I have so many Texas songwriter friends I've spent being very vulnerable in the writing room with. Radney Foster, Walt Wilkins.
Yes.
Pat Green's a good friend of mine. In fact, one of the guitars that I still play every show, Pat's gave it to me from one night we were hanging out. There is a major respect musically and art form between Texas and Mississippi. It's really interesting. I'll be right back. Visit Mississippi.org. This is what it's all about. Creating opportunities to celebrate our past, the people in our past, that shaped our Mississippi. They're doing it in Rosedale, Mississippi. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar.
Came up in the middle of the night, been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like to be doing it right. I saw the light, sun came up in the middle of the night, been doing it wrong for so long. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like to be doing it right.
You know that nowadays, most people go online to look at a business before they spend their money. What if the online information about your business is incorrect, or even worse, not very flattering? If your online presence isn't great, you may be losing customers. STMM Digital's trusted and highly trained team is the answer. We're ready to work with you to help your business capitalize on the power of digital marketing. Call 601-991-2305 or go to stmmdigital.com to get started today. Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get
If you're feeling anxious about
Rocking in a Mississippi Minute, as I always say, is by the time this airs, Jack and Elizabeth Coleman, my guests today at Rosedale Distillery now. Just so much that they've done over their career in Washington, D.C. Now they find themselves in rural Mississippi.
When we started this venture and this project, because we got married pretty quickly after Jack had laid the groundwork for it. And, all the talk about Robert Johnson and the research that Jack has done. And while I've been doing other things, we kind of commingle our creative juices, at home over dinner. And we talk about, well, why don't we do this? And why don't we do that? And Robert Johnson is actually who lived in Rosedale with his wife. But where Robert Johnson made two recordings. He made two recordings, and they were made in Dallas and guess where? San Antonio, Texas.
First one in San Antonio.
There's a perfect example of what we're talking about.
Yeah, at the Gunter Hotel, which is still there today. I've spent many evenings at parties at the Gunter Hotel in downtown San Antonio, and they have a plaque on the door, room 414 at the Gunter. So we're going to really try and merge and have excursions over here to the Delta and, Robert Johnson excursions, bringing them from Texas.
Well, Texans love to come they love to come here. You have no idea how many visitors we have from Texas.
Listen, guys, I see it all the time having my own resident show. They're coming from everywhere, by the way. They're coming from as far as Australia. Yeah. I mean, you name it, but absolutely. And it's an easy drive. You know what I mean? It's not bad.
Yeah.
So that's what's fun about Jack and I finding each other and the kindred spirits that we are. The fact that I'm from Texas, I guess, made it easier for you.
Well,
he's from Mississippi.
I didn't realize until we started dating how much Texas and Mississippi are alike. As you say, it's just a size difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And because we're all very independent people. And these Texans, they may think, well, everything's bigger in Texas. We showed them when they came for our wedding that not everything is, but including the Mississippi River sitting right there. But they have the mentality of, don't tell me what I have to do. We're going to do smart stuff. And so we because Elizabeth was a statewide elected official for so long, 7 years, she knows so many people. And they're
all eager to come.
They're all eager to come.
Well, they're coming. That's for sure. Second of all, when we get the second ship, and hopefully that's going to be announced soon, that's going to be a really big game changer. It's going to double the folks that come in and also the opportunities there. I have a feeling y'all are going to be one of the most successful premium tours and Viking worldwide. I really believe that. Let's talk about the distillery now. Let's talk about, Perry Martin's part of our show. We're going to be connecting that dot. Rosedale's where I decided that it probably wasn't a good idea for me to continue playing football, because it was there where I was a cornerback in ninth grade, and I remember squaring up, and I'd never been hit by a running back in my life so hard. Not only did he run over me, he came back, stepped on me twice, and then proceeded to score. That's my memory of Rosedale. So anyway, but also have fond memories of when we moved our kids here. They fell in love with Rosedale. My filmmaker son, my daughter, who's got it tattooed on her arm. The bottom line is that something about Rosedale made this impact on them. They used to love going downtown, and they did this without me knowing. Jack, it's your small town, and now you're doing this. Tell me about the distillery and the impact you feel like it's just going to make.
Well, one of the things, first and foremost, is to have a business that's profitable. You don't go out and get your friends to invest and if you don't have a serious business. So that's the first thing. But the second objective was to also uplift this town. And so we have designed this project so that the historic fabric of this community is preserved and actually improved. So we've got buildings across 3 city blocks, town blocks, all connected together, and then we have this very large old factory building that's now our distillery. So we've got tasting rooms, we've got museums, we've got a mercantile store, we've got restaurant. So we've got a variety of things here. So it's all of that is part of the distilling business, though. Every bit of that is part of creating an attraction for tourism, for the distilleries. Distilleries. I've been frustrated that Mississippi didn't have much of a distillery business industry here, that we could, and that we were overlooking. A great opportunity to create business and jobs. And so we now have the opportunity, because now we have a better law. This year, the legislature passed the craft distillery law, which is going to get, be very helpful to new distilleries opening. We're not afraid of having competition. We actually want more competition, because the more people we have, we can create a destination for.
Well, Napa Valley, they got plenty of wineries, and all it does is gives you an opportunity for people to stay longer,
Exactly.
And that's what we want. I mean, that's really what we want. Next thing you know, we have some bigger hotels, more bed and breakfasts. The list goes on. Right. Elizabeth, what do you think?
Well, ditto to everything he said, but these kinds of things, and this company that we have put together and built and worked on for so long, of course, COVID delayed everything. And so, but piecing the parts of the puzzle together because relied so much on environmental research, environmental regulations, and there was just every corner we would turn, another regulatory authority we had to report to, and this and that. And it's kind of, I tell friends laughingly, but it's true, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And so we came out of, and we will come out of the gate when we open, as a very strong company, but also what we have learned as far as the entrepreneurial aspect of opening companies and projects like this is really, it's pretty darn tough these days in America to start a new business and a new company. And I always kind of have asked my friends, and well, don't just pray for us. Put a bumper sticker on your car that says, "Have you hugged your entrepreneur today?" Because we need hugs and we need love. And that's what feeds us as we move forward. But we're so excited to bring this exciting venture to Mississippians. And
hey, Jack, as an Army, your Army discipline that you learned, that toughness, that deliberateness, that being on time, very structured. Has that helped you with your entrepreneurial skills?
Oh yeah, the Army was a great way to
I
start.
would say yes to that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's it like getting up in the
It's-
morning, Elizabeth?
Exactly.
he would,
Yes.
he would probably.
He learned how to fold his t-shirts a certain way.
Yeah.
And by golly, they taught him how to pack a dishwasher too.
That's a
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I like folding clothes. I mean, I just do what Gwen does because we all have our chores. They're all the same thing. Anyway, Jack,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, but perseverance, of course, is one of the greatest characteristics. You cannot embark on something like what we're doing when you're getting into the unknown, particularly when you're using historic buildings, and you have one of them, the largest one is an old factory building that had some environmental issues. You've got to, maybe being an environmental lawyer, I understood not to be so afraid of it. And also a major in accounting. And so all the business side of things, the laws and everything that apply and how we put the capital stack together, that didn't intimidate me either. Yeah, I knew what to do. The hard part was just going out and doing it. So, but perseverance, when you have an issue that comes up, or you have COVID, that
Yeah.
really slowed us down. It'd be one thing if we were building all new buildings. Yeah, we could have dealt with it easier. But when you have to have old buildings and people actually have to come here and do measurements and everything to do changes, COVID slowed all that.
Let's take a quick break. Jack and Elizabeth Coleman are my guests. Rosedale Distillery. When's it going to be open, guys? Or Target?
Well, January.
January, baby. Oh, I love
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's my New Year's
Absolutely.
resolution, to visit it once a month. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
go,
Visit
wonderful.
Mississippi.org. This is what it's all about, creating opportunities to celebrate our past, the people in our past that shaped our Mississippi. They're doing it in Rosedale, Mississippi. We'll be right back. I'm Steve Azar. I'm finally home. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
From the Seabrook. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Rocking in a Mississippi Minute, as I always say, is get to be holiday. By the time this airs, Jack and Elizabeth Coleman, my guests today at Rosedale Distillery now. That's their new venture after life in, their life in the military, politics, but really environmentalists. Just so much that they've done over their career in Washington, D.C. Now they find themselves in rural Mississippi, one of my favorite towns, my daughter's favorite town. In fact, she said her baby girl's going to be named Rosedale. We'll see if that happens. We have got
We
0
love it.
grandchildren. We would love it. Visit Mississippi.org. Hope you guys saw the Rose Bowl parade. So I always say the Rose Bowl because of Rosedale. The Thanksgiving parade that Visit Mississippi.org celebrated the birthplace of America's music, Jim Henson and the Muppets. And now we get to go to Rosedale and we get to toast everybody there. All right, so let's talk about music, because obviously all my blues friends and my dad opened the first legal liquor store in Mississippi. It's behind that store where I fell in love with doing what I'm doing. If he chooses another business, I'm not back there with Eugene Powell. I don't get to know Son Thomas. I don't get to know Sam Chapman, Little Milton, et cetera, et cetera. It changed my whole probably direction in life. And and so you guys, musically, it fits really well with cocktails. So so how's that going to fit in?
Well, yes, you can't really have a excellent distillery without music and events. space and all of that. So we're as I mentioned, we're going to have 4 different tasting rooms in Rosedale, and they won't all be open at the same time. Usually, we will have our own events where you can hop from one to the next, different band at each one.
Wow.
But yeah, so one of ours is our blues club, the Crossroads Blues Club. That's one of our tasting rooms on our historic juke joint street, Bruce Street. So that's one of them. Our larger one is the River Club. So each one of our tasting rooms is themed about a certain aspect of Rosedale history and the area history. So we've got, one that'll be about Robert Johnson and the great blues guys who were here. We've got one about Perry Martin and the great bootleggers who were here. We've got one about Rosedale and the river, the Mississippi River and the Kate Adams steamboat and all of that. That's our main tasting room. And Charles Scott, who was the largest cotton planter in the world, it's in his actually old former law office building. So, and then the 4th one is the Mississippi River Explorers Museum, which is also going to be a tasting room in the old Valley Bank building, all about DeSoto and Marquette and Joliet and LaSalle and what Mark Twain had to say about these explorers and this location in his book Life on the Mississippi. So and to top it off, we'll have our Delta Mercantile and Gallery, which will be an art gallery and great place to buy beautiful things.
It'll be you can learn or relearn history that you might have learned in high school or
not listened to in high school, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really interesting to us now, isn't it?
I kind of remember that name DeSoto, and now what did he do again, and when did he do it? So we're going to have, inspirational or inspiring you to ask questions. Art, the interior design and feel of these different tasting rooms will reflect the era of and the country that sent DeSoto.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that, Elizabeth. Since we're doing decor, and Jack, not because me and you can't do decor, I'm the one that gets Gwen to finally do things because she just can't make her mind up when it comes to those things. Right. But how did you even start that process of figuring out what it's going to look like and feel like in there?
Well, once we knew what we wanted to do, the interesting thing that's kind of amazing, another thing Jack and I share is this love for design and concepts. And I actually had a design company when I was a young married woman for about 15, 20 years. And I went to the New York School of Interior Design after college. And so this was before I started a career in elected office. So, it's all coming back to me. And I have to say that I do bounce things off of Jack. He's got a great eye. But I'm taking the lead on all of this, and I'm very proud of the paint colors. They're historic in nature. There's a story even behind the paint colors and what we have used in these buildings. And so, for the person that's interested in that kind of thing, it'll all be available. It's right now it's in my head, but I'm going to write it all down because I think when you come and you see it, and I want people to appreciate that there was a lot of thought that went into even every color, every trim color, every light fixture. It's all
it's like you're not building like one house here, which could be a lot. You're building city blocks of houses or buildings. Yeah. I mean, it's beyond that. Right. So that's overwhelming if you look at the whole thing at one time. But what's the one bite of the elephant, I guess, right? At a time?
Well, we're working on 131,000 square feet of space.
We've had,
and it's not one big open space, a bunch of small spaces, right?
We've had
one is pretty big, but
we collaborated with a longtime friend of mine, a designer from West Palm Beach, and we brought Veronica Whitlock in, who's just amazing.
Yeah.
And
she's great.
A longtime friend of mine, and we brought Veronica in to give us some insight and help us kick off and give me the confidence that yes, you are on the right track. And Veronica will probably be back. Veronica Whitlock from West Palm Beach, I cannot recommend her firm highly enough. But we also felt like we had a mission and we needed to accomplish it.
Well, and one of the missions that we had is to tell stories that are little known. People may know something about it, but they may not know that this particular location right here, Rosedale and the confluence of the Arkansas and the Mississippi rivers, had all of this stuff happen here. And so, I mean, most people can't tell you where DeSoto was buried. Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you he was buried about 10 miles south of here. His body waded down the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be found because supposedly he was a god, and that's how they had protection from attack from the Native Americans. It's all kinds of stuff. And so pretty much what we're doing with the buildings is determined by what we want to showcase there. So our blues club has got open rafters, exposed brick. It's because that's the only way it would feel right. We're not, going to put plaster back up on the walls and sheetrock on the ceiling, and it's got to be right. So for the explorers, we've got to have a magnificent room for DeSoto and Search of Gold. When doing our demolition work in the Valley Bank, and this is the big original room, we took down 3 ceilings, and there we are. We see for the first time this magnificent pressed metal ceiling that nobody had seen for 70 years.
Wow.
So now that same pattern is going back up. Beautiful gold, of course, because he was looking for gold. And we exposed a magnificent fireplace at the end of the room. And so it's, all of this throughout that building and our river club, we are installing 10,000 square feet of 85-year-old wide plank pine flooring that came out of an old rice mill in Louisiana. It feels old, and it gives you the feeling that this belongs here.
Wow.
So these are the kinds of things that we're doing. Just an example.
Well, let's take a quick break, but we've got time, a little small segment left. Jack and Elizabeth Coleman, founders, owners, proprietors of
that's fine.
Rosedale Distillery, had a huge life in Washington, D.C., and thank goodness they have found their way both on Mississippi soil. Jack back in his hometown of Rosedale. I get it. Visit Mississippi.org. You need to get it. Plan a trip. You're going to plan a trip very soon to Rosedale, Mississippi, Rosedale Distillery, and it's going to be an awesome experience. You may never leave. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back.
For so long, I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. I sure ought to know what it finally feels like. You've been doing it. I'm doing it right. I'm still trying to find my way.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
You know that nowadays, most people go online to look at a business before they spend their money. What if the online information about your business is incorrect, or even worse, not very flattering? If your online presence isn't great, you may be losing customers. STMM Digital's trusted and highly trained team is the answer. We're ready to work with you to help your business capitalize on the power of digital marketing. Call 601-991-2305 or go to stmmdigital.com to get started today.
Here's
a little bit of time left with a whole lot of love. I'm looking at it right now. Lovely couple, all in love couple, powerhouse couple for sure. And now they found their way back to the Mississippi Delta, and I'm grateful. I know so many people are so grateful that Jack and Elizabeth Coleman have made their way back. Rosedale Distillery, folks. It's going to be somewhere from around the state, around the country, that folks and around the world, they're going to come visit and give them an extra thing. You go to there, you go to the Grammy Museum, then you go to B.B. King's, then you go to Jim Henson and the Muppets, then you go to Ground Zero, then you go to the Delta Blues Museum in Greenwood. Great museum there. There's so much going on down here. First of all, how do you see the future of our Delta, and what's going to bring in bigger businesses for us to allow to grow that? And so these things that you're starting to do are going to really be fruitful.
Well, the Delta has a bright future. We have most of the ingredients that we need to like, we've got plenty of water. We've got this fabulous Mississippi River, which is vastly underutilized for creation of opportunities for folks and enjoying nature, et cetera. But we've got to work on education. We have to do it, and somehow the legislature's got to figure out how to crack that nut even better. We've made a lot of progress. We've made a lot of progress in this state, but we still have issues. And we need to keep it local as much as we can, because those are the folks who, and we've had some issues here in Bolivar County with school consolidation, school district consolidation.
Yeah. I saw that.
And it's not been a positive thing for us. And so I hope that the legislature will decide to leave that alone. And we've told our elected officials that.
Sure. Y'all got great relationships there, and and I do too. I got a lot of friends that I've gotten to know over the years now, especially, and I'm grateful for those relationships. But I watch them. It's a lot to do. It's a lot.
Well, and Jack and I are so committed to not just obviously our own company, but also the city. Jack, being the new mayor of Rosedale, is
this is obvious, by the way, because you're investing in it.
That's right. But I hope our company will be crafting a really great internship program for for deserving high school students. We want to be part of their future and give them opportunities to learn hospitality, just get a start before they go on to the next phase of their life, be exposed to real companies here, a company here in Rosedale, kind of, get some skills that whether they want to stay or go on or go to college, they've got something that
an opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah. And I hope that these big companies are doing the same thing. The Amazons and the Toyotas, when they come here, it's more than money in school districts. It's more than money. It's opportunity.
Yeah.
As you were saying, exposure. Yeah. And these kids need to be exposed. So, I challenge Amazon and Toyota and the billion-dollar companies, because we're a small business. We're a small company. Big for Rosedale, but small compared to the other companies that are getting a lot of news today in Mississippi coming in. But we're going to be really hands-on with these kids and with this community. And I challenge these other companies as they come to have that aspect also.
Well, I want to say this real quick about Toyota, just to give you an example. Up in Pontotoc, with the state song and the children's book that we have, Sarah Francis and I have, went and Toyota put their name on Brought to You By, and gave thousands of books away to these kids. They sang every word. One of the school, I can't remember, one school sang all the choruses, one school sang every word. North and
That's
South.
So great.
All I know is they read the book and everything, and they're so vested in that idea of kids starting very young and appreciating our Mississippi.
You need to have people come in and show that you care. And we need to do more of that. We are going to have an aggressive program. We're very involved in our community, as you can imagine.
I know.
But we're going to do more of that.
Well, let me just say this. I promise you, You're going to give folks, you got to give them, and you guys are doing this, giving these kids, because every kid is dreaming. They're all dreaming,
Right.
but they never get a chance at all to even get it out of their head, and then get it out there in the real life. And I'm a believer in that dream. I'm an over believer. And I'm a believer in accomplishing way more than you're capable of, because somebody gave you an opportunity. We run out of time. First of all, we're so grateful you guys chose to move back. So grateful for all of you, and bless you guys for all you're doing. I'm just so excited about seeing this thing flourish and make a big difference and impact our kids, our future, and our Delta.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much.
And we're very, very blessed to have you as our good friend. Thank you. And you and Gwen.
www.rosedale.distilling.com.
Rosedale
There it is,
Distilling.
distilling.com. Not distilling.
RosedaleDistilling.com.
Yeah, well, it's a distillery. I can't help it. I've been saying that all day.
No, it's
all right,
all the
well,
same thing.
love you guys. Bless y'all,
No problem.
Jack.
Love you too.
And
All right.
Elizabeth
Thank
Coleman.
You. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yes.
thanks, Rosedale Distillery. Visit Mississippi.org. Need I say more? I'm Steve Azar. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.